Hey warrior, has someone recently betrayed your trust, spread falsehoods about you, or claimed your hard work as their own? Every part of you wants to scream, to retaliate, to demonstrate exactly who they're messing with. But what if I told you that the loudest response isn't always the most powerful one? What if your quietness could communicate more effectively and deliver justice better than any words might? Ancient wisdom suggests that the universe possesses its own method of creating balance. The Stoics comprehended this completely. They understood that occasionally, stepping back and allowing life to deliver the lessons you can't is the most courageous action. Marcus Aurelius famously stated, "The best revenge is not to imitate your enemy." This isn't advocating passivity or weakness. It's recognizing that certain battles succeed not through fighting, but by permitting natural outcomes to develop. Consider this powerful concept. Fools consistently make noise. Wise individuals remain quiet almost always. Reflect on when someone last wronged you. Perhaps a backstabbing colleague, a friend who betrayed your trust, or someone attempting to damage your reputation. Your initial reaction was likely self-defense, correcting the record, ensuring everyone learned the truth. However, studying Stoic philosophy and observing life has taught me something. Sometimes the universe already prepares its answer. Constantly defending ourselves, proving our value, or seeking revenge actually surrenders our power. We allow others to govern our feelings, behaviors, and tranquility. The Stoics taught that genuine strength originates internally, from recognizing our own value despite others' words or actions. Something remarkable occurs when you select silence instead of reaction. By not instantly defending or retaliating, you create room for truth to naturally surface. You permit people to expose their genuine nature without your assistance. You provide karma the space needed to operate effectively. I'm not suggesting becoming a doormat or accepting mistreatment. I'm discussing deliberate silence, emerging from deep internal confidence and faith in life's natural order. Understanding that some individuals will bury themselves if you simply provide the tool and withdraw. Ancient Stoics endured persecution, exile, and even death. Still, they preserved their composure and honor. They recognized that responding to every insult, unfairness, or mistreatment would only reduce their own character. Instead, they concentrated on controllable elements, their reactions, thoughts, behaviors. Today, I'll present 9 particular circumstances where your quietness will communicate more powerfully than any words. Mastering these 9 instances of strategic silence reveals something amazing. People increase their respect for you, your reputation strengthens, and justice arrives at your doorstep without you pursuing it. Before exploring these 9 impactful moments, please do something for me. Place this affirmation in the comments: I choose silence as my strength and let karma speak my truth. Like this video, share your thoughts below, pass it to someone needing this energy, and subscribe so we can strengthen together. Let's start. Number 1. When someone attempts to provoke an argument. Have you observed how certain people excel at pressing your buttons? They know precisely what statements will ignite you, make you lose composure, draw you into useless heated debates. This represents the first and possibly most crucial time to welcome silence's power. Epictetus, the Stoic philosopher born into slavery facing unimaginable difficulties, taught that nobody harms you without your consent. When someone tries provoking you, they're essentially requesting permission to disrupt your peace. Your quietness communicates, I withhold that power from you. Consider what happens when you accept the bait. You enter their drama, utter regrettable statements, and suddenly function at their level. But silence's beauty. It compels them to expose their true nature while you preserve dignity. They appear aggressive, irrational, emotionally uncontrolled. Refusing engagement with provocation accomplishes something significant. You remove their ammunition. They cannot later weaponize your angry words. They cannot justify their behavior through your reaction. You become untouchable, unshakable, ultimately unbeatable. Ancient Stoics recognized that arguing with provocateurs resembles wrestling pigs. Both get messy, but the pig enjoys it. Your quietness becomes a mirror reflecting their conduct. Often they recognize their behavior and either intensify until others observe their true nature, or retreat when denied the desired reaction. Here's where it becomes fascinating. Consistently refusing provocation shifts the dynamic. People perceive you as emotionally controlled, resistant to manipulation. Your reputation for level-headedness grows while provocateurs appear petty and immature. This doesn't mean becoming a pushover. It means becoming strategic. Choose battles carefully. Understand that not every provocation warrants response, and sometimes responding not at all proves most powerful. The karma here delights observers. Constant provocateurs eventually gain that reputation. People avoid them, dismiss them, view them as incapable of mature conversation. Meanwhile, your reputation for calmness under pressure, for avoiding unnecessary drama, becomes invaluable. Remember, provocateurs usually battle internal chaos. They want you sharing their inner turmoil. Your silence shows compassion toward yourself and them. You decline feeding their disorder, potentially providing reflection space. Say it with me and type proudly, I am unshakable in my silence. Number 2, when someone claims credit for your work. Nothing matches watching another receive praise for your concepts, effort, late nights, early mornings. These moments can make even calm individuals want to shout, "That belonged to me." Yet here, Stoic ancient wisdom becomes pure gold. Sometimes your quietness becomes your character's most powerful testimony. Seneca, the Roman Stoic philosopher, stated, "Every new beginning springs from another's end." Credit thieves actually prepare their own downfall without your orchestration. Truth eventually surfaces, and when it does, your silence will have spoken louder than any objection. I recognize this feels counterintuitive. Your mind protests, people must know it was me. I worked so hard. Trust me, I comprehend that feeling. But observing countless situations taught me something. Immediately defending your work often sounds defensive, petty, insecure. People might even question your honesty. But maintaining silence, allowing them to enjoy stolen glory, produces something beautiful. First, you preserve dignity and professionalism. Second, you compel them either to confess independently or deepen their deception. Third, you create space for truth to naturally emerge through consistent work and character. Consider this perspective. Someone stealing your ideas reveals what about their creativity and abilities? They're essentially admitting inability to produce quality work independently. Your silence highlights their inadequacy rather than shadowing your contribution. The karma here approaches poetry. Credit thieves rarely maintain their charade long. When asked to elaborate, they stumble. When challenged to produce similar work, they struggle. When needing demonstrated skills, they fail. Your silence provides sufficient rope for their hanging. Meanwhile, your continued excellent work speaks independently. People notice patterns. They observe your consistent quality production while credit thieves experience brilliance bursts followed by mediocrity periods. Intelligent managers and colleagues recognize these patterns faster than you might imagine. Your silence accomplishes something additional. It forces internal motivation rather than external recognition dependency. Stoics believe genuine satisfaction comes from right action because it's right, not for resulting praise. Creating, contributing, excelling without immediate recognition makes you unstoppable. Here's the most powerful aspect. When truth eventually emerges, and it always does, your silence will be remembered. People will say, they never spoke when credit was stolen. They simply continued working professionally. Such character reputation exceeds any single recognition moment. Credit thieves might win battles but lose wars. Your silence becomes strength. Your dignity becomes shield. Your consistent excellence becomes sword. You needn't fight this battle verbally. Your work communicates sufficiently. Number 3, when someone spreads falsehoods about you. This strikes deeply, doesn't it? Falsehoods about you feel like attacks on reputation and identity simultaneously. Every instinct urges correcting records, defending yourself, ensuring everyone knows truth. Yet Stoics teach something profound. Sometimes lie's most powerful response involves living your truth so vibrantly that falsehoods become obviously untrue. Marcus Aurelius faced this exactly. As Roman emperor, he encountered rumors, political attacks, outright lies about his character and decisions. Yet he wrote in his meditations about avoiding trouble by ignoring neighbors' words and deeds. He understood defending every lie would consume life and reduce effectiveness. When lies spread about you, initial instinct activates damage control mode. You want contacting everyone potentially exposed, explaining your perspective, ensuring truth dissemination. But here's what frequently occurs. You appear defensive, making people question your vigorous protest. Sometimes defending yourself actually amplifies lies beyond their natural attention. Your silence alternatively communicates differently. It declares, "I'm sufficiently secure in my identity to avoid defending against baseless accusations." It demonstrates confidence and self-assurance that actually increases respect. What followed was fascinating. People knowing me well immediately dismissed rumors because they contradicted their experience. People not knowing me well formed opinions based on my actual behavior, not hearsay. And the lie spreader appeared petty and vindictive, especially when noticing my non-response. Lies' beautiful aspect. They require constant maintenance. Truth requires none. It simply exists. But lies need remembering, embellishing, defending. Lie spreaders must maintain story consistency, remember disclosure recipients, hope avoiding contradictions. Your silence forces all that work while you simply live your truth. The karma here proves particularly satisfying. Liars eventually trap themselves. They contradict themselves. Their stories change. They get caught spreading falsehoods about others. Meanwhile, your reputation for avoiding gossip or character assassination strengthens. People view you as above such behavior. Here's the deeper truth. Not immediately defending against lies actually demonstrates character, making lies unbelievable. You show sufficient identity security to avoid constant validation or defense. You prove greater interest in being good than appearing good. This doesn't mean never addressing false accusations. If lies genuinely damage career or relationships, speaking might become necessary. But frequently, the most powerful response involves continuing authentic self-presentation and letting contrast between lies and reality speak independently. Number 4. When someone betrays your trust. Betrayal penetrates deeper than almost any human experience. When trusted individuals, friends, partners, colleagues, family members, violate that trust, feelings aren't merely hurt. Faith in people shakes. Immediate reaction might involve confrontation, demanding explanations, expressing hurt magnitude. Yet Stoics offer alternative paths. Sometimes betrayal's most powerful response involves dignified silence. Epictetus, intimately familiar with betrayal through slavery years, taught that reactions matter more than occurrences. When someone betrays your trust, they reveal their character, not define yours. Your response becomes a defining moment for your chosen identity. I recognize this feels nearly impossible. Betrayal makes every fiber demand justice, understanding of caused pain, weight of actions felt. But experience taught me something. Trust betrayers rarely respond to confrontation with genuine remorse. More frequently, they become defensive, make excuses, or even reverse situations, making you villainous. Your silence, however, accomplishes something profound. It forces them to sit with actions without argument distraction. It denies opportunities for behavior justification or villain-making. Without reaction to manipulate, they're left alone with conscience. This can prove more powerful than any words. Consider betrayal's true nature. Someone choosing personal interests over your relationship. A decision revealing values, character, priorities. Understanding this reveals that betrayal isn't really about you. It's about who they are. Your silence communicates, I perceive your true nature and won't waste energy attempting change. Betrayal karma proves particularly poetic. Betrayers frequently find isolation because trust, once broken, rebuilds incredibly difficultly. People betraying one person typically develop betrayal patterns with others. Your silence allows this pattern visibility to everyone surrounding them. They ultimately create their own untrustworthy reputation. Your silence also protects something precious, your energy and peace. Not engaging with betrayers avoids their drama. You avoid reliving betrayal through arguments and explanations. You can focus on healing, moving forward, surrounding yourself with truly trustworthy people. Perhaps most importantly, your silence during betrayal demonstrates incredible strength and maturity. It shows you're someone not needing revenge for wholeness, not needing others' diminishment for self-elevation. Such character attracts trustworthy people while repelling potential advantage takers. The betrayer may never apologize, acknowledge actions, face consequences you consider deserved. But your silence ensures dignity, peace, character preservation. Ultimately, that exceeds any possible revenge's value. Drop this affirmation in comments: my silence honors my worth. Number 5. When someone attempts embarrassing you publicly. Picture this scenario. You're in meetings, social gatherings, or simply with friends, and someone decides public embarrassment. Perhaps mentioning past mistakes, questioning abilities, making jokes at your expense. Everyone watches, awaiting your reaction. These moments trigger natural instincts screaming for self-defense, retaliation, demonstrating wrong person selection. Yet here, Stoic ancient wisdom becomes your secret weapon. Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius, facing daily public criticism and authority undermining, wrote, "The best revenge is not to imitate your enemy." When someone attempts embarrassing you publicly, they're essentially revealing personal insecurities and poor character. Your silence spotlights their behavior, not shadows yours. Consider what happens when accepting bait. You become defensive. You start explaining. Perhaps you even attack. Suddenly you're engaged in public conflict serving nobody. The audience becomes uncomfortable. You appear reactive. The initiator achieves exactly what they wanted. They've pulled you to their level. But observe what happens with silence. When someone attempts embarrassment and you respond with calm composure, perhaps just a slight smile or simple "I see," something powerful shifts in the room. The audience doesn't observe humiliation. They observe unshakability. They observe someone sufficiently secure to avoid engaging with petty attacks. Silence's beauty during embarrassment attempts forces everyone to genuinely examine what's happening. They see attacking and composure. They see tearing down attempts and dignity maintenance. The stark contrast almost never favors attackers. Your silence accomplishes something additional. It demonstrates emotional intelligence and self-control. In a world where everyone seems immediate reactors, someone maintaining calm under public pressure stands out. This composure represents leadership qualities people notice and respect. The karma in these situations proves beautiful to witness. People regularly attempting public embarrassment develop that reputation. They become known as untrustworthy in group settings, potentially turning on anyone anytime. Meanwhile, your reputation for avoiding public conflicts, maintaining dignity under pressure becomes invaluable. Here's the deeper truth. When someone attempts embarrassing you publicly, they're typically managing personal inadequacy feelings. They're attempting self-elevation through your diminishment. Your silence becomes strength that actually helps them perceive their behavior more clearly. This doesn't mean becoming doormat or accepting mistreatment. It means wise battle selection, understanding that not every attack warrants response. Sometimes the most powerful action simply refuses their game. Number 6. When someone refuses acknowledging their mistake. We've all experienced this. Someone makes clear mistakes affecting you, perhaps even hurting you. Instead of owning them, they dig in heels. They make excuses, blame others, or even gaslight you into believing you're wrong. Blood pressure rises. Frustration builds. Every instinct demands forced admission. Yet Stoics teach something counterintuitive. Sometimes someone's mistake denial's most powerful response involves letting them live with denial consequences. Seneca, dealing with politicians and power-hungry individuals throughout life, understood this deeply. He wrote, "A person's worth is measured by what they value." When someone refuses acknowledging mistakes, they're showing exactly their values: ego over truth, image over integrity, pride over relationships. This situation's hardest aspect is injustice feeling. You know what happened. They know what happened. But they won't admit it. Your mind keeps replaying incidents, constructing perfect arguments, crafting undeniable evidence, forcing confession. But experience taught me something. People refusing obvious mistake acknowledgement aren't operating logically. They're operating from fear and pride. Your silence in these moments becomes incredibly powerful because it forces them to live with uncomfortable denied truth. When you don't argue, don't convince, don't chase acknowledgement, something interesting happens. They cannot hide behind argument distraction. They cannot point to your reaction as behavior justification. They're left alone with conscience and choice. What followed was fascinating. Without argument satisfaction, without position defense against my attacks, he sat with his choice. Over following weeks, I watched increasing discomfort with his own story. He began second-guessing, asking subtle client questions, eventually quietly implementing changes showing exact problem awareness, despite never explicitly admitting. The karma in these situations proves profound. People consistently refusing mistake acknowledgement develop reputations for unreliability, defensiveness, difficulty working with. They lose credibility not just with you but with everyone witnessing their behavior pattern. Your silence allows this pattern visibility without your pointing it out. Here's the deeper truth. When you stop forcing mistake acknowledgement, you free yourself from exhausting frustration and disappointment cycles. You stop giving them power over your emotional well-being. You stop waiting for reality validation to progress your life. Your silence also demonstrates incredible maturity and self-confidence. It shows you don't need their acknowledgement for truth knowledge. You don't need their apology for reality maintenance. Such inner strength is rare and powerful, attracting people valuing truth and integrity. The mistake-denying person may never provide satisfaction of hearing, "I was wrong." But your silence ensures their mistake remains theirs to carry. Their reputation remains theirs to manage. Their conscience remains theirs to live with. That itself constitutes justice. Number 7. When someone constantly criticizes everything you do. Some people make fault-finding their mission. Your successes go unacknowledged. Your efforts get dismissed. Regardless of thought, care, or skill invested, they always focus on wrongdoing. Being around such chronic critics proves emotionally draining. Your initial instinct may involve self-defense, reasoning explanation, or proving you're not the failure they portray. But Stoics offer powerful counter-response: don't feed their reaction need. Marcus Aurelius, governing Rome under immense scrutiny, wrote, "Very little is needed for a happy life. It's all within yourself, in your thinking way." This wasn't just philosophical musing. It was survival. He understood external criticism only becomes powerful through internalization. When someone constantly criticizes you, it's rarely about improvement. It's about control. These individuals often use criticism for superiority inflation or managing unresolved personal frustrations. The moment you realize their harsh words reflect more about them than you, the dynamic changes. Constantly explaining yourself, justifying actions, or behavior adjustment to appease them creates never-ending emotional exhaustion. Such critics aren't seeking better outcomes. They're seeking conversation dominance. But silence interrupts that pattern. When you stop reacting, you remove fuel keeping their ego burning. Your calm, measured silence communicates, "I hear you, but you don't control my self-perception." That subtle shift from reaction to quiet observation robs them of emotional power they thrive on. You stop granting them authority over your self-worth. Their voice becomes background noise, not commands requiring obedience. Here's where karma arrives. People eventually see chronic critics for who they are. Their negativity isolates them. Others stop seeking opinions, avoid sharing ideas, leave them out of meaningful discussions. Criticism without balance leads to loneliness. Meanwhile, your reputation grows. You become known as someone remaining steady, not getting rattled, accepting feedback gracefully while knowing when to disengage from fruitless debates. That self-control level speaks louder than any rebuttal. Most importantly, you start focusing on people offering constructive insight, not constant disapproval. You begin valuing your own opinion, progress, and peace above noise. And doing so reclaims your energy and attention for what truly matters. Your silence facing constant criticism isn't weakness, it's strength, restraint, wisdom. Number 8. When someone attempts manipulation through guilt or emotional blackmail. This might be the most insidious situation. Someone in your life, perhaps family, friend, romantic partner, has learned exactly which emotional buttons to push for desired compliance. They use phrases like, "If you really cared about me, you would." Or, "After everything I've done for you." They make you feel guilty for boundaries, selfish for prioritizing needs, heartless for not immediately providing wants. Your natural response involves self-explanation, proving care, defending decisions. But here Stoics teach something life-changing. Sometimes the most loving action involves refusing participation in emotional manipulation. Epictetus, intimately understanding power and control dynamics, taught that nobody makes you feel inferior without consent. When someone attempts manipulation through guilt or emotional blackmail, they're essentially requesting consent for emotion and decision control. Your silence communicates, "I don't consent to this manipulation." Emotional manipulation's tricky aspect involves coming from people we care about, wrapped in language sounding like love or concern. Manipulators make you feel bad for not providing wants. They weaponize your compassion against you. Your silence in these moments isn't cruel. It's self-preserving. Ultimately, it's the most honest possible response. When someone tries guilt-tripping you into action, they're not actually requesting help. They're demanding compliance. They're not expressing needs. They're attempting choice control. Your silence forces them confronting difference between help requests and obedience demands. Emotional manipulators' karma proves particularly fitting. They eventually push away people caring most. Their constant guilt trips and emotional blackmail erode the very relationships they claim valuing. People start avoiding them, not sharing good news, maintaining emotional distance. They end lonely, wondering why nobody wants proximity. Your silence protects not just yourself, but also the relationship. When you don't engage with manipulation, you're refusing transactional relationships. You're communicating, "I care about you, but won't let that caring control me." This actually creates space for genuine connection development. Here's the deeper truth. Emotional manipulators often learned this behavior as survival mechanism. Perhaps they grew up in environments where manipulation was the only way for needs meeting. Your silence, your refusal to participate in their games might provide exactly what they need for healthier communication learning. This doesn't mean becoming cold or uncaring. It means responding to actual needs rather than manipulation tactics. You offer appropriate support without guilt-driving decisions. You show love through healthy boundaries, not compliance. Your silence facing emotional manipulation demonstrates incredible strength and maturity. It shows caring about someone without allowing control, compassion without doormat status. Number 9. When someone tries dragging you into their drama. You know this person, always crisis-caught, always needing outrage validation or crusade joining against latest enemies. They arrive with newest conflicts, expecting side-taking, anger-sharing, emotional investment in their battles. Your natural response might involve listening, advice offering, problem-solving help attempts. Yet Stoics offer different perspective. Sometimes the kindest action involves refusing to become supporting character in someone else's drama. Marcus Aurelius, ruling an empire filled with political intrigue and personal conflicts, wrote, "How much more grievous are anger's consequences than its causes." When someone tries dragging you into drama, they're essentially asking you to share their anger, frustration, negative emotions. Your silence communicates, "I care about you, but won't join this emotional chaos." Drama seekers' exhausting aspect. They never seem conflict depleted. There's always someone wronging them, always unfair situations, always battles needing fighting. If you consistently engage with their drama, you'll find yourself emotionally drained, constantly pulled into others' conflicts, surrounded by same negative energy following them everywhere. Your silence in these situations isn't about being unsupportive. It's about refusing to enable their drama creation or attraction pattern. When you don't immediately join outrage, don't get pulled into conflict, you're actually offering something more valuable than validation. You're offering different perspective. Drama seekers' karma exhausts observers. They burn through relationships, push away caring people, create high-maintenance and emotionally draining reputations. People start avoiding them, not answering calls, making excuses when latest crisis listening needed. Your silence protects your own emotional well-being while helping them see patterns clearly. When you don't get sucked into drama, you maintain peace of mind and genuine helpfulness ability when real problems actually matter. Here's the deeper truth. People constantly creating or seeking drama often deal with inner emptiness or boredom. They've learned using conflict and crisis for feeling alive, attention-getting, personal issue avoidance. Your silence, your drama participation refusal might provide exactly what they need for inward rather than outward fulfillment searching. This doesn't mean becoming unsympathetic or unsupportive. It means learning distinction between genuine help needs and drama addiction. You offer real problem support while refusing unnecessary conflict pattern enablement. Your silence becomes gift to yourself and them. You preserve personal peace while offering opportunity for healthier connection and communication methods discovery. Drop this affirmation in comments: my silence protects my energy. As we complete our journey through these 9 powerful silence moments, I want you pausing for reflection on our discoveries together. We've explored situations every single person faces: provocations, betrayals, manipulations, drama. But more importantly, we've discovered that our responses define us far more than situations themselves. Ancient Stoics understood something our modern world often forgets. True power doesn't come from last words, argument victories, or forcing others' truth acknowledgement. True power comes from quiet confidence, allowing wise battle selection, response rather than reaction, character speaking louder than words. Your silence in these 9 situations isn't about passivity or weakness. It's about strategy and strength. It's understanding that certain battles win through fighting refusal. It's trusting that universe balances things independently and that karma doesn't require your assistance. When you master these strategic silence moments, you'll notice something beautiful happening. People will increase respect, not decrease. Your reputation for being unprovocable, unmanipulatable, undrawable into unnecessary drama becomes invaluable. You'll find yourself surrounded by people valuing peace over conflict, truth over drama, authentic connection over emotional manipulation. But perhaps most importantly, you'll discover inner peace that no external validation provides. You'll stop giving others power to disturb your calm. You'll stop waiting for apologies that may never come, acknowledgments never given, justice never served as expected. Remember, every silence overreaction choice protects not just your peace. You're also giving others space for behavior reflection, conscience-facing, potentially better path choosing. Your silence becomes mirror reflecting their actions back, often more clearly than any words. The Stoic path isn't always easy, but it's always worthwhile. Your silence is your strength. Your peace is your power. Your character is your greatest achievement. If this message resonated with you today, please hit that like button, share with someone needing this message, and subscribe for more wisdom on living your best life. Remember, your silence speaks volumes, and the world is listening.